Okay, so now we're going to look at step 3 and step 4 of the solve one side of the Rubik's Cube, when by the time we've gotten to 5 pieces, we will have more or less eliminated almost all of our degrees of freedom. So now we can no longer make direct turns to bring pieces to their corresponding centers. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to use something that my daughter coined as the elevator method. And the way that works is that essentially these pieces that have the wrong color, I'm going to think of them as empty elevators. Now the pieces that I want to put in here, here's the top side that I'm looking at, there are still 2 more layers to the cube, the middle layer and then the opposite layer. And if you look, I can see all of these white pieces that I'm looking for. Now here's my other corner piece. So the edge, and then there's the third edge. Those are the 3 missing pieces that I want to put in place. So the way that it's going to work is, since they are not on this top layer, I'm going to bring these empty spots down to the layers they're on. Now that could be the middle layer or the bottom layer. And then I'm going to put the piece on the elevator, and I'm going to send the elevator back up. So the way that would work is, here's my corner piece. This is my last remaining corner piece. I have 3 of the corner pieces, and here's my last remaining one. I can't turn it directly up because I'll lose the corner that I already had. But what I could do is this. I'm going to move this piece to a safe location. I'm going to pull him over to the side right here. And by doing that, that's going to allow me to turn this piece without messing with him. I'm going to push the elevator down. So now this empty spot is on the same layer as this guy is on, so that I can push him into place and then take the elevator back up. So the elevator method, all the different moves, whether it's an edge piece or a corner piece, all work on the same principle that we bring the elevator down, we put the piece on the elevator, and we send the elevator back up. So here are 2 edge pieces. I'm going to use 2 different algorithms to take care of these guys. So this piece right here, you can see I'd like to bring him right here, okay, but by bringing him here, I'm going to lose the 2 corners that I had. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to pull him around so that he's out of my way. I'm going to bring the elevator down to his level, and remember, he's on the middle level. So now I can push that piece into place. He's on the elevator, and I send the elevator back up. Okay, that leaves one last piece. That piece is over here. I'm going to turn it so it's directly under the corresponding spot where it needs to go. And again, what I need to do is to move it to a safe location. I'll pull it over to the side. I will bring the elevator down. I'll put him on the elevator, and I'll send the elevator back up. Okay, and at that point, I would have gone through level 3 all the way to level 4, where I have this face of the cube completely solved. So in addition, at level 3, you would have to be able to explain how the elevator method works, and you have to justify it in terms of those degrees of freedom. Right? And so just to remind you, the way that the reason why it's so important to use this elevator method is because by the time we reach level 2, we will have exhausted all of our degrees of freedom. And so we have to have this new method that takes advantage of the ability to bring pieces up without having really any degrees of freedom. Now, to reach level 3, you probably just need 2 algorithms, one for the corners and at least one for the edge, and you should be able to get to 6 or 7 pieces consistently over and over again. Now, to get to having all 8 pieces, there are at least 2 algorithms for the corners, and there's about 3 or 4 different algorithms you can use for the edge pieces. So at level 4, you would have at least 4 of these so that you can consistently get the cube solved with all of the 8 pieces in place in less than 5 minutes, and you are able to critique 4 of those elevator moves. And so we're looking for things like how they work, about the parking of the piece to keep it safe, about bringing the empty spot down to the level where the piece is at so that the piece can slip in and go back up and not disturb any of the pieces that are in place.